We're here. It is a gloomy Monday. We are all not very talkative today, so it's a fun day to do a podcast. Maddie's here. Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Maddie's in a new setting. That's fun.
New setting.
We like that.
We got the navy blue wall.
Love for a navy blue sweatshirt. And Tegan Jones hanging out. You weren't here last week, right?
Nope. Remember, we were both sick, and I decided not to blow my nose all over the freaking podcast unlike somebody else. So.
I'm the host. I have to.
Oh, no, we could have waited.
No, come on. I'm still blowing my nose. You might see that during this stream. Who knows? Anyway, we are coming off of a solid Las Vegas race, a very Gen 6 mile-and-a-half pre-550 vibe. It's not a bad thing. Not a great thing either. It was a solid race, one car dominated. People don't like that.
It's just not one car. It's not like whoever got in the front ran away with it.
That could be an issue that we're kind of coming into.
Kyle Busch has been saying it for a while that this car was worse than dirty air. So I think it showed at Vegas.
Yeah, if I had a complaint about the race, it would be that once you were out front, you were good. Like there was no catching you unless it was on a restart. But like if you broke from that restart and you were out there, you're set.
If you're out there and you were a Hendrick car.
Yeah.
Fresh tires.
Yeah. I thought Truex had a chance there on that late restart. He gave me a little bit of hope, like, whoa, Truex fighting back here. But ultimately, I do think the best car was Byron. So happy to see he won. It's William Byron likes winning races in a dominant fashion very early in the season and then disappearing. So I bet we won't see him for another 15 weeks.
He may win another race. That's about it.
Yeah, good run for Byron. Now that caution, I don't know about that one.
You don't think it should have been called?
At 4 to go, no. I knew it was gonna, but
I don't know. You see a car in the wall. It's like NASCAR's gotten trigger happy when it comes to calling yellows anymore. So
and it's 4 to go.
It's pretty consistent in my opinion.
I mean, if Chase Elliott was leading, would they have called that?
If that was such a boring race, yes, they would have.
Okay. To
that ending,
so
that ending saved the Bob Pockers pole.
Let's
just say that. Oh, the Jeff Gluck. Okay,
it's about one 50-50, so it's not overwhelming this week either way. I think it was a solid race. I'd say it was like a 6 or 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was nice. It went by quickly, which was good. No cautions really, because that Auto Club race was good, but it kind of dragged for me a little bit with the cautions. It just felt long. But I did enjoy Las Vegas. Hey, Maddie.
Hey.
Do you know what time it is?
I do know what time it is.
There's so many moving parts to this segment. I have to get you solo. I have to get the banner. Then I have to get the music. So, okay. We'll start with that. We'll get that. And then we'll hit this. Maddie, what the fuck song do I use? This. Yeah. Hit it, Matt.
Yeah, wait for the beat drop.
Two dudes.
Oh, the music went away. There we go. All right. My first one, pretty obvious. William Byron. Whenever you can lead like 150 plus laps of whatever race you're in, you are dominant as ever. And my second dude, I'm going to give Bubba some credit. Bubba had like a back end of the top 10 car all day. Was able to gain a few spots there on the late restart. I think he finished 6th. He was the fourth. Yes, he was the first finishing Toyota, not Chevy.
No.
Jesus,
Sorry,
murder in the segment. But
that's okay.
Yeah, Bubba is my second dude.
Okay, thank you, Maddie. Those were a good pair of dudes. 2 of them, actually. Yeah, I respect that. I mean, Byron did have the best car. He did dominate the race, and Bubba Wallace did have a good little run there at the end.
Yeah, Hendrick as a whole, whenever you as a team lead, I think they led a combined, I think it was like 241, somewhere right around there of total laps.
Probably, yeah.
That's something pretty crazy.
Yeah, it makes me feel even better that my driver broke his leg this week, seeing how those cars performed.
Yeah.
That one stings, but that's going to lead us into our next topic. Chase Elliott has a fractured tibia. He is out indefinitely due to a snowboarding accident. I'll give my thoughts last. So Matt or Tegan, whoever wants to go, what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
I'll go first. To me, it was random just because
Yeah.
I don't really follow Chase that much. So like I don't know if he snowboards on the regular. Like
They said he's an experienced snowboarder.
I heard that Bill is too.
I think they go together actually,
Yeah.
during this stretch potentially. So
all right, so it was kind of just like a fluke thing because to me it seemed kind of weird, but that's because I didn't know Chase likes snowboard. I was just like, oh, okay, you're just gonna go snowboarding randomly and hope that you don't crash. But
yeah,
the recovery period to me is gonna be really interesting because unlike most sports, like you could do like baseball, basketball, football, hockey, like you can be on the foot for a little bit and then like you can go to the bench and like you can just try to heal it for like 5 minutes, like get some weight off of it. But like when you're in a car, your foot's gonna be in that position for multiple hours, like in the same exact position. So it'll be interesting because I feel like it's something that you have to be 100% healed. Otherwise, like unless like you have another driver there ready to take over like midway through the race. But I don't think Chase is that type of guy. I think Chase is going to want to be completely healthy to the point where he can do a full race. So it'll be interesting to definitely see how long he's out for and if like he'll get the medical waiver. Which I mean, there's obviously a medical waiver there for a reason. I don't know how like picky NASCAR is going to be about it, being like, oh, it was a non-NASCAR injury. I don't know if we'll grant it to him, but it'll all be interesting to see how it unfolds here.
It would be an interesting conversation if they don't give it to him because they gave it to Tony Stewart for his ATV accident. They gave it to Matt Kenseth. Tegan's trolling down there. They gave it to Matt Kenseth just because he wasn't in the sport for the first 4 races after Kyle Larson got in trouble. They just gave him one. So I think they hand out waivers pretty loosely, it seems. And
I don't understand why they haven't done it yet, though. That's kind of weird and odd.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're just making it look like they're thinking about it, and they're really not.
Exactly. I mean, they have to give it to him, right?
It's medical. It's there for a reason. It's no different than if you have to have an emergency surgery and you're out for a race or two because of it. It's no different. It's no different than breaking your tailbone because your fat ass fell down the steps or something at home. So I think they give it to them, and they ought to. It's there for a reason.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the injury? Like, what do you think the timetable is for that, and how do you think Chase will recover?
It was odd. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When whoever first posted it and I seen it,
was me.
Every time that anybody posts anything from Bob Pockrass, I look for the 2 or 3 S's in the Twitter handle because that's where you know if it's real or not. And then you go look for it if it's got 2 S's because you want to make sure. Because I can Photoshop. I did it.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing you do, and then it's kind of odd because you don't think of somebody like Chase Elliott going to be out because he broke his leg or whatever. You think it's going to be, I mean, who's out there that would do shit like that?
Blaney?
Maybe Blaney, yeah. Chase Elliott just seemed like he's not the type, and I didn't peg him for somebody that was snowboarding. So, yeah, I mean.
Well, if you told me Travis Pastrana broke his leg,
yeah,
I could be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's probably still broken or somewhere, I'm sure. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's out for at least 4 weeks, maybe more, maybe 6.
Kyle said he thinks he's going to be out for at least a month. And he knows. I mean, he had a similar injury. It was really his foot because in NASCAR, I feel like you don't have to.
Does anybody know if it was his right or left?
Left.
Oh, see, that's not so bad.
He breaks with his left
that,
foot though.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
So-
he's a left foot user.
Yeah, so it really depends on where you are for that.
Mhm.
Like if you come back at 1.5 miles where you're just lifting, then that's probably not.
He
as
can
much.
he can teach himself how to use the right one for a little bit, yeah. But now
Okay.
at road courses, most time, even if you are a right foot user, you're using the left to brake on road courses and shit. So I definitely don't see him coming back at a road course anytime soon, if there's any coming up. So, I mean, I can see him jumping in the car somewhere and jumping back out if he thinks that's going to help him, because he's got to stay in the top 30. Oh no, he don't. That changed this year,
Yeah.
so he
Right.
don't even have to do that no more. So that's a
That's
fucking plus.
big. That's
Let's call that the
huge.
Chase Elliott rule.
How convenient,
Even
right?
though, how convenient, right? NASCAR, it's in the script. It's in the
I was
fucking
shitting
script.
on that. But now I love that. Let's go. Give me that rule.
You were. I remember you literally saying on the pod, I don't know about that. So
Now I do.
you do.
Now I know.
You're like,
I
now you're
love
like,
it. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm
thank you,
all about
NASCAR.
it. Yeah, for real. Thank you, NASCAR. Now just hand out that waiver in a
Yeah,
quick manner,
NASCAR wrote the script perfectly. It's all going according to plan.
and he's gonna win the championship.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a
We've
hot
seen
take
this
on that.
We've seen this movie before.
Speaking of the championship, I did see today on NASCAR.com that Kyle Busch is now the new favorite to be the champion. His odds have improved to 6-1. He's 6-1, and I think like Chase, Logano, and Larson are all 9-1, and then Blaney's 10-1.
Well, I think Chase's odds are going to get worse as he lays out the races. So
Right. You
So,
can get some good value
I have
here.
a conversation with you, Matt.
Uh-oh.
We're getting to a point with Ryan Blaney where he needs to do something.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying yesterday during the race chat, I was impressed with the way they were able to figure out the car finally in stage 3. I mean, it took way longer than I wanted it to, and there was no catching the Hendrick boys during that race, regardless of who you were. But I was glad to try to get some positive momentum going into Phoenix here, because this is a place where he's had 3 top 5s the last 3 races, and he finished like 2nd and 4th last year. So if he has a bad finish this week where he finishes like 8th or 9th, and I'm going to be kind of concerned. Unless like he finishes like that 8th or 9th and he just led a ridiculous amount of laps and then like a caution comes out late and he just gets shuffled back on the restart, which would be the most Ryan Blaney luck thing ever. Either that or like he goes into the pits and his pit crew just loses him like 10 spots. But yeah, if he doesn't have like a dominant week this week, I think it might be time to start hitting the panic button here.
he still got the same crew chief he's had for a couple of years. Is it Jeremy Bolins or something like that?
No,
Yep.
is it Bolins? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I think
Bolins was with.
it's time to change the crew chief.
I think he's at Hassler.
I don't know, maybe.
Because he had.
Well, I mean, I will say this: Ford, I think we're struggling with the same shit all that race. They were looking good, but it was colder than what they were giving, and then the wind was really bad too, and I think that hurt the Ford really bad. Because somebody said that Harvick on the radio after stage 1 and said it's a bad day to be driving a Ford. So it's like they kind of knew it was going to happen going into that race. They knew something was up with the handling on all their cars. So,
but yeah, Blaney. Let's look at this. Right, he's almost 30 now.
Yeah.
He's been at Penske for around 5 or 6 years. He has not made a Final Four. His best championship standing finish is 7th, and he hasn't won in a year and a half in a points race. Are we at a point where because we've said Ryan Blaney is going to be one of the big names of NASCAR to carry it into the future, but I feel like he's getting passed by other people, like Byron and Bowman potentially. Chastain definitely.
Yeah, Chastain really just like shot out of a cannon last year.
And he just signed a multi-year contract too, didn't he? Not with Penske,
I assume.
Yeah, that might have been.
Yeah, I think Blaney's was like 2 years ago when he signed like a 5 or 6 year deal. But
and that's unheard of now in NASCAR to sign a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I really am definitely like I'm curious about this though because I feel like he's not achieving expectations.
No, right now. Like I said, I think I think the two's pit crew is better than his. And like if I were him, like I even thought that way last year, and even when like Brad was there, like ever since I've been back in the NASCAR, I've always thought that the two had a better pit crew than Blaney. Even now with like Cindric being there, which I feel like it should have went like to Blaney just because he's had more experience than Cindric, and he's the guy who you just paid all that money to. But yeah, for whatever reason, the pit crew just can't figure it out. And then he just has bad luck himself. But yeah, I could definitely see where it's going to be tough now to have him ever winning a championship because you got all these young guys going up, and then like you've still got Logano who isn't like old. You've got Chase who isn't old. Like you got all the
Your guy.
yeah, you've got all like all the Hendrick guys. You've got still Truex out there. You still got Denny. You still got Harvick for another year. But yeah, and then like you've got
Like I'll be honest, Blaney, I really like him and I want him to do well, but he might be outside of my top 10 best drivers in the sport now.
Like all time or like current
Not
drivers?
all time.
I gotta say he shouldn't be in the conversation for all time.
I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
Because give me Hamlin, Logano, Larson, Chase, Truex, Chastain, Harvick, Byron's
questionable because, like we said earlier, he's got like the early season and then he just shits the bed.
Sally,
hi.
Yeah, I would
Blaney.
I would probably put him like 9th or 10th, somewhere right there.
Put Reddick over Blaney. Let's be honest.
If Reddick don't figure some shit, well, he done good this weekend. But I mean, there's the end though. He didn't get to finish where the car was. Like the car was good the first run. I mean, that son of a bitch hauled ass, and then after that, he couldn't do nothing. He was stuck in 15th. So if he don't start moving up,
yeah. Did you enjoy the race, Sal?
It was a good race. I liked it.
Okay, I agree. I don't like people that don't like this race.
I feel like this kind of race would attract like the older generation fans.
Tegan loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either.
What did Truex say a couple years ago when he won at Darlington? It was just a good old-fashioned ass kicking, and that's what I feel this one was.
I still think if you put any car up in the front on even ground with those Hendrick cars, I think air plays a role into it.
Logano.
No.
Logano only had the lead for what, like 25, 30 laps? Got
less
past.
than that, I think. So yeah. And then your thoughts on Chase Elliott?
It stinks. It like completely caught me off guard. I was listening to you guys while I was on my way over here, and like Tegan said, first thing I did whenever I saw Bob tweet it out was, okay, first off, I got to make sure this is today and not from like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I mean, it was real. It was the real guy. And then slowly everything started just rolling in about Josh Berry getting in. And I'm like, dang, this is really happening.
Yeah, that was an opportunity for Josh Berry. Totally understand why he didn't do well. First race in a next-gen car, totally different than any other race car he's probably driven. Does not look like he will be racing in that car at Phoenix.
Somebody put out there that they would love to see Corey LaJoie get put into it, and I can get on board with that. Because
it'd be interesting. I know
Corey LaJoie is saying that Corey LaJoie could be good if he's put in decent equipment. Well, he's got experience in this car. Let's see what he can do. Let's put him in it. Let's see what he can do with top-notch equipment.
And it's only been 3 races, but I mean, he's been pretty solid this year.
Yeah, top 20 in all 3 of his races, I do believe so.
So do you guys think they make it an Xfinity call-up, or you think they put someone who's already in the Cup Series?
I think they put a former Cup Series driver in the car.
That's what I think. Like,
no.
I think
Jamie.
No.
Jeff Gordon.
That'd be awesome. No. I got my guy, though. There was a guy that said, "Hey, before this year, hey, I'm like 11 starts away from being at my 500th Cup start. I'd really like that."
Jamie, or was it Reagan?
Casey Mears.
Oh, Casey Mears, you're so full of shit.
Bring him
They
back.
put Casey Mears in
Tweeted
that
it out
car.
today.
Somebody's drinking some fucking whiskey.
Bring Casey Mears back.
Absolutely not.
That's a guy I could root for.
I think John Hunter. I think
I'd put my
Nemechek
Napa
might get
racing
a.
hat on.
Nemechek's a Toyota
Nemechek
driver.
wouldn't.
No way.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah,
be
that's
all
right.
Geyer.
That's the
before
Joe
him.
Gibbs, yeah.
Yeah.
They may rotate it out between the junior motorsports drivers. Who knows,
Xfinity guys,
but,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm hearing
I
rumors
still-
that it's going to be somebody surprising.
I still
Like it-
would like to see Corey LaJoy put in it, just to see what he can do in a top equipment.
I
might
Ever
be
heard,
the-
Landon Castle?
oh yeah, baby.
No.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
I don't
Garrett
know if
Smithley?
he can.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
that's the one. That's the one. Doesn't seem like it's going to be Josh Berry because he was listed in the driver portal earlier this week.
And then took it off.
And then he was taken out, and the entry list was listed as TBD. So I really doubt it would be Josh Berry if they're going to do that.
I still would not put it past Jimmy Johnson.
I wouldn't either.
I was gonna say,
And I didn't think of that till you said that it's a former driver, and then it just hit me. Fucking Jimmy. Jimmy's already going to do races this year. Why not put him
Yeah.
in a 9-car?
That could be a. Yeah, I would like that. I'd be here for it. I could root for Jimmy. You know, I was rooting for Chastain this last week just because I like chaos and fun, and he really brings that energy. But yeah, it's weird because like since I've watched NASCAR, right, my favorite drivers have been Jeff Gordon and then Chase Elliott. So I've never watched a race without my favorite driver in it. So it was a weird experience for me, honestly. Jeff Gordon never missed a race. You know, he is the Iron Man of the sport because he didn't get suspended like a doofus in the second year of his career, like some other guy.
Oh, that's okay.
think of
Jeff
right
Gordon was
now.
just a big fucking pussy through his career.
Whoa,
So.
yo,
He had to get help from that doofus so he could take a swing at Brad Keselowski. So,
yeah, thank you for that, by the way.
yes.
My
driver has a set of balls, not shriveled up fucking grape seeds.
Damn. Yeah, no, it was weird, but then yeah, so I have to deal with it for probably like 2 more months, I'd say at least.
I feel like it
You
would
don't
almost
want to
be.
root for Josh Berry?
I was gonna say, I feel like it could be like a good thing though, because then like, obviously you're not gonna want to not watch your favorite driver, but then like you're not gonna be just so tuned in on whatever they're doing. Like you're gonna be actually able to like enjoy the whole entire race as a whole.
I mean, I think I do that on the right. I think I'm a NASCAR fan. Like
Yeah.
I watched the truck race. I watched the ARCA race a couple weeks ago. Okay,
I think
like
everybody
NASCAR.
watches the ARCA race when they race Daytona and Talladega. After that, it's pretty much turned
It was
off.
so
Yeah.
much fun. Dale Quarterly was a menace. Wild race. Wild race. Sal, you seem like an ARCA guy.
I did. I will admit, while I was at work, I did watch bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Who won the Xfinity race? Austin Hill passed Chandler Smith late in the most anticlimactic late race pass you've ever seen. So Austin Hill off to a hot start. I didn't expect that.
He was my Xfinity pick to win the championship, so at least one of my picks is looking
Was he?
kind of good. I
We had that?
Yeah, I had Majeski, Austin Hill, and Tyler Reddick, I believe. That was my 3. I know I had Majeski and Reddick. I'm
That
pretty
Cup
positive I
one
had.
is off to a rough start.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had Austin Hill. If I didn't have Austin Hill, I would have had Josh Berry.
Grab
So,
boy, Josh Berry.
I think I picked Austin Hill though.
Facebook was awfully quiet after that performance from Josh this weekend.
Yeah,
They were.
that was a little rough. But yeah, I can't imagine like.
But then
going
Bubba had a
from
normal
here.
conversation with Christopher Bell after the race, and they got all fired up about that over on the Facebook. So, tell you what, that Bubba, he ain't got no personality. He's just an ass crybaby. Like, all right, whatever. I hate Facebook.
Oh, Twitter's just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'd say Twitter's better for a Bubba Wallace post than Facebook is.
I don't know.
Maybe. Could you get more the younger kids, I guess, younger generations on there
Yeah.
compared to all you see on Facebook when you look at the comments. Because I looked at one today about I forgot what the hell it was even about, and it's just old people, and you're sitting there thinking has to be a troll account. There's no way that there's this many stupid fucking people out in this world that looks. I mean, I'm not to make fun of somebody's looks, but you can literally look at the profile picture, and you can match it up to the comment. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense coming out of that person. I can see it. I can see it. So I'm one of those people like, oh, I gotta see this fucking dumbass. What you look like? It's like going down the highway and somebody cuts you off and you gotta like, oh yeah,
right.
You're a dumbass. I can see it. That makes sense. Yeah. Facebook's the same way. It's like watching a fucking car wreck.
Oh man. And then Kyle Busch won the truck race. That was fun. That was like an old school race, that truck race. Sal, you're a big truck guy. You watch that, right?
Of course I do. Yeah.
You're a NASCAR guy. You're fucking sexy. Is that the AutoZone Polo on?
Yeah, I just got out. I put my
groceries
up.
Let's get a little closer.
Get that. Oh, wrong way. Right there. I did take my name tag off.
Oh, come on. Does it say Sal or Salvador?
Salvador.
Sally. Hablo Espanol. All right. He's one of our good ones.
He speaks Mexican.
I do indeed speak Mexican.
So Sal, let's talk about Daniel Suarez, I guess. How'd he do? What did he? He kind of stunk.
He had a.
I'm telling you, I think that team did. He's the only one. Ross Chastain wasn't that good either.
Yeah, Ross Chastain didn't perform as good either.
I didn't expect that.
I think Trackhouse in general, just a casual day. And here's the thing with that team: we're saying they suck, but they were there at the end, and they both got top 10, or no, yeah, top 15.
Suarez was 10th. Chastain was 12th.
Daniel Suarez, man.
Him and Alex Bowman. Two drivers with top 10s in every races. And those are two guys that we have maybe not. I think we've been kind to Daniel Suarez on this podcast, but there has been a lot of Alex Bowman talk on this show.
Give Alex
maybe more than any other show.
Not here tonight either.
Give him like one more month, and he'll be off the face of the planet. Don't worry.
Oh wow, here we go.
I'll substitute Wessel.
The thing with Suarez was in like the middle of stage 3, he looked really good. When like him and Bubba were both just cruising there for a little bit, and then like they just couldn't sustain it. You kind of wonder if they were like used almost. You like tried to use the tires as much, as much as possible.
I think that happened a lot.
Yep, because in the middle of stage 3, they were boogieing.
They were boogieing. Boogity. Let's go racing, Matt.
Yeehaw!
So we do have to talk about something. Spencer Boyce won the league race last night, so he'll be on the podcast.
No, I'm joking.
He'll be on the podcast next week. So we'll have Spencer here next week.
Next week may be a abbreviated podcast.
It could be. I'm not.
30 minutes or less.
I won't be here, so Spencer's gonna host. So I'll send him the email, password, all the information, and no, I'm kidding. I will be here, but yeah, Spencer will be here as well. Maybe a little shorter. We don't know. What race is it? Phoenix? We'll have nothing to talk about. That track sucks.
If they'll quit putting the shit on it, it's getting better.
The track was aging, and then they decided to slap some PJ1 on it.
Yeah.
So,
and now that PJ1 is stuck on there. Yep. They ain't put it on there in a couple seasons now, and you still see drivers looking for it because it's still there. And I don't think that race. I don't know why. It makes no sense. That racetrack's not been good either since they redid the start finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand because they didn't change nothing. They didn't redesign the track or nothing. It's just I don't know. It just ain't there like it used to be. And I think it's the PJ1. I think they need to get out there and fucking wash that shit right off. Fucking power wash it off and shit. So
yeah, let's talk a little about the league race. Spencer, of course, won. He's saying in the chat how he had fun. I bet he fucking did. Tegan, you finished third.
Me and Bradley had a little
I saw.
going
How
at
was your
it.
race?
It was all right. If that caution hadn't come out there at the end, I thought I could have held off Spencer. I was going to be a fucking beat grandpa that those last 15 laps. But yeah, and then I tried to make a adjustment for the short run on that caution, and I got it way too loose. I had it on 45 wedge.
Yeah.
That's how low it was. So that kind of gave me a good lap time, but it fucked me after a lap or two. And after that, me and Bradley was just pinballing each other around the track and shit for shits and giggles. You know, president and VP. I mean, everybody wants to see it. We try, and it's just fun. So,
Sal got a top 10. Tell me about your race a little bit. You and Matt can both tell us about your race at the same time. You guys had a little. You guys were interacting.
They were together. Every time they went a lap down, the other one was going to lap down with them.
Yeah, it felt like we were together for about anything. You might have had like 10 or 15 laps where we weren't side by side. It felt like.
I feel like the 22 was with you a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was there as well.
It was fun. I mean, anytime you get to race around Matt all day, it's a great time because you never know which lane he's going in. So.
It's certainly entertaining, especially at a track like that where I didn't get any practice. It definitely makes it good.
I'll tell you what, though, he about made me crap myself about 7 times last night because I think I'd be pulling away, and here comes Matt absolutely
wall riding
it.
No, I wouldn't wall ride. I stayed off the wall a decent amount. Like that last caution was because I didn't even get into the wall. I just got so loose going around that corner, and I had Sal on one side and Trainer on the other, and I like split them, bounced off the wall, and like flipped somebody else over when they when they destroyed me. That was mayhem. Like Bradley said, it was he just saw chaos in the front stretch by the time he came around, and yeah, that was something. That was entertaining for sure.
My race was boring. I was around like nobody for the longest time because I was slower than like the top 4, but I was faster than everybody else. So I just kind of hung out on my own for a little while, and that late caution was quite unfortunate to me because that gave
KW, you're on the same lap with him.
Yeah, I was like 13 seconds ahead of him, and now we're side by side. So that was unfortunate for me because I thought I had like 6th locked up, but I only finished 7th, so it was all right.
Yeah, Chase couldn't.
Exactly. I was really good on the first run of the race. Like I stuck with the lead group for a while there, but I just couldn't. My car. I don't know how people don't get loose off the turns like I do.
This race was different. I think except for Spencer. I think Spencer literally channeled all of his looseness that he's had all these years for all these races and gave it to everybody else and said, "Watch this, bitch! I'm running away."
Yeah.
And because Spencer didn't break loose last night at all, if any, from what I could tell, and everybody else. I mean, I had my wedge at one point up to 49 something, and then I was still getting loose off the corners. So, and then a lower slider than he was running. So, it's just, and a couple years ago, I was running around that track without getting loose. It seems like everybody hits on it. In every year, somebody different hits on it.
Yeah, it was a fun race though. Let's do the CFRL picks. I don't have picks from Wessel, so he's going to be voided for this week. And he actually had an early pick, so that's unfortunate for him. Let's get this up. That's just not what we wanted. Okay.
What's your search history?
No, I was trying to use a hotkey. Okay. You can see it, right? Okay. So, JB won again. He doesn't get the extra point because Kyle Larson did not win. He was very close to having that. So now JB's at 3 points compared to Wessel's 2 and Maddie's 1. First pick this week is Mr. Matt. Maddie, who you picking?
Did not think I was going to be first after picking Joey Logano, but this is the week I would like to use Blaney, but I'm not. I'm going to go with Chase Briscoe.
Okay.
Oh,
He
you
was
bitch.
He was very, very good here in both races last year. Won one, and I think finished fourth in the other. So that will be my pick. Although, like I said, I obviously hope Blaney wins. He led over 250 combined laps in both of these races last year, so I think there's a good shot. But we'll go with Briscoe.
Bradley is picking Ryan Blaney. He is taking that and going with it here. I believe it is now Tegan picking.
Well, I was going to take Briscoe just because he done good here last year, and if he doesn't, because he's struggling this year, he's a good throwaway as well. But Matt took care of that, so I think I'm going to do a throwaway. I think I'm going to go with McDowell.
Okay. Where are you? Right here. And now I was planning on doing a throwaway here, but with the crop that I've got in front of me here, I think I have an opportunity, and I need to get on the board here. Like I am struggling hard right now, but I don't see a name that I really quite like this week. So I think I'm gonna throw away also. I'm gonna go. Oh, I don't
You
know.
going to throw away with Ross? Oh,
No, I already had
Vegas.
Ross.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I haven't really taken a big name yet. A lot of big names still left here. And I need something because I'm struggling hard right now.
I got a feeling that we're all trying to save the same driver for a certain race too.
What are we talking about here?
Dirt race.
Well, I know who I'm saving.
I think we all are.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to flip a coin. Fuck it, Harvick.
That's a good throwaway.
Watch, he'll probably go out there and win.
I don't mind that. He was top 10 in both races last year.
I was close to picking Austin Dillon. That's what I was almost going to pick. Next up is Sally. Who do you got?
I want... Oh my god, I had him, and then I didn't. Give me Truex.
Okay.
Marty T.
And DJ, Marty T. I like that. And then JB, he'll pick last. He's going with, because his first two picks were taken, he's going with Denny Hamlin. JB continuing to just swing here.
JB's taking a lot of big names, and it's paid off for him for two races.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, like I already don't have Chastain and Reddick, and I haven't won, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, those were our picks. So that's what are our expectations for Phoenix? So I was tempted to pick Logano, but I'm not confident.
I was just about to say that. Like if I didn't
Lonnie
use Logano,
don't strike twice.
If I didn't use Briscoe, I would have. If I didn't use Logano last week, that's who I would have been. I think you could see Chastain here. He was pretty good both races. I also think Kyle Busch could kind of like be sneaky.
Busch?
I think like he could be a sneaky kind of guy here. Like he's finished towards the back end of the top 10, but it's not like one of his more dominant tracks, but he's able to get that solid finish. So maybe like a late caution or something like that. We know he's not scared to throw it 3 wide and stuff like that. So if you get a late caution and he's in the top 10, I wouldn't put it past Kyle.
You know who I thought about too, actually? Keselowski. He's been really good so far.
Yeah, but you want to save him for a plate race.
No, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I feel like
It depends on what kind of speed they keep showing. Because I mean, if he's gonna be showing he can run at least top 10 here at these different style tracks, then I wouldn't be surprised to see them win maybe a mile and a half, another short track.
Where did he finish this week?
He was in that
finished
wreck there at the end,
17th.
wasn't he? Yeah,
Was
he was
he?
in
He
that
finished-
wreck. The last caution, yeah, he was in it.
He finished 17th. I thought he had ran better than that, though.
He ran better.
did.
He probably took 4 that last stop though.
Nah, he did, but he was also involved in that last caution. There was a bunch of them involved in it, either checking up or getting the wall or something, trying to miss Eric Jones, I guess. And
Did you ever hear Eric Jones' radio?
yeah, I watched it today.
Dude, he was mad.
I'm telling you, I don't think that team's got speed like you thought they were going to either.
I'm surprised. Well, Noah Gregson sped about 16 times.
So they have
crazy.
speed.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
Too
There,
much.
that segment where he got caught speeding
Twice.
twice.
trying to do the same, and then he got
Right.
caught again. But
Late
somebody
in the
did that
race.
Saturday in the Xfinity race too. Had to serve a pass through on because they sped on their first pass through. So
Yeah, I've never seen that before. I had never seen that before, I should
he
say.
better be glad that's all he got, because used to, when you got a penalty, serving a penalty, you had to come in and do a stop and go or
Yeah.
even lose a lap. And now
Yeah.
I think they've relaxed it a little bit. Now it's just pass throughs, and that's all they do.
Where did he
So he
finish?
got really lucky. He was 2 laps down. I'm surprised he went more than that.
Yeah, 30th. That's a rough showing from him.
And
What's
be
up,
honest, he
yours?
probably took a couple of waiver rounds when those quick cautions come out and the leaders kept pitting.
Yeah, he hasn't had a great start. His finishes are 24th, 22nd, and 30th, so not great for Noah so far. And Eric Jones, I don't think, has been much better. Let's see where he is.
Where'd Ty Gibbs finish?
He was way off.
He was
Yeah.
non-existent.
Right.
Yeah, Eric Jones has finished 37th, 19th, and hold on. Why is it taking this so long? 37th, 19th, and 19th. So, not a good start for really the Legacy Motor Club fellas. We were expecting a little more from them. Now that we talked about Reddick having a slow start, but how about Bowman? Good start for him. I believe Chastain is still the points leader. Let's get that on the screen.
Yeah, we got Chastain, Bowman, and Harvick.
Who's the best website for this? Fox is pretty good. We'll do this. Okay. So, you guys can see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chastain. Harvick. Good for him, man. Third in
I mean, he's
points.
finished top 11 in all 3 races. So with a wrecked race car at Daytona, he finished
Yeah.
11th. So
Truex is 5th. Suarez 4th. Good start for him. Hamlin 6th. Bell 7th. Chris Buescher and Keselowski 10th and 11th. Good start for RFK. Stenhouse is hanging around in 12th. Hendrick Boys 13th and 14th. There's Blaney and Bubba 15th and 16th. How about Corey LaJoy 18th? Really good start for him. AJ Allmendinger 19th. Ty Gibbs 20th. We got a little Xfinity 2022 battle here in this range. And then we have like the Island of Misfits for the Fords. McDowell and Almirola are here. There's Justin Haley. There's Chase Elliott, who has a broken leg. Ahead of Austin Dillon still. Not a good start for Austin Dillon. I actually expected more out of him, to be honest.
he really struggled this weekend too.
He was really bad. And then we have 2 SHR cars outside of the top 30.
Behind
Cody
Cody Ware.
I was just gonna say Cody
Oof.
Ware's ahead of Briscoe and Tyler Reddick. That's not too good.
Tyler Reddick is tied with Travis Pastrana.
He just now got tied.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a rough start.
So for the first 3 races of the year, Tyler Reddick was 3rd in points for a 2-car team. That's not great. Yeah, what do we make? You're the SHR guy here, Tegan. What do you think so far? I feel like Priest has had really unfortunate luck. He had a car that could have won the 500, got caught in that wreck. I think was doing solid at Fontana, then had the restart
Got
wreck
wrecked.
and and then was involved in that last lap kerfuffle there.
Yeah.
What do you make of SHR so far?
I mean, it's like always. Harvick's carrying it.
Yeah.
I think Harvick carried it last year. I just think it was slow. But by the end of it, Harvick had the better car every week. So,
Well,
Harvick was behind last year and was still finishing like top 15, top 10. He's not so much behind this year like he was last year. So, and he's 23 behind the points. He only got one stage point this last weekend because he literally was, finished 11th in this first stage and then finished 10th in the second stage. So that's what killed Harvick last year with stage points. But I just think a lot of bad luck for Stewart-Haas. I mean, look, Amarola wrecked this weekend. He got wrecked at Daytona, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was in it with Harvick. They both got wrecked in the same wreck. So, and last weekend, Briscoe had some fucked up issue with his motor where it wasn't running right from the start. So, I hope it gets better, especially considering, they took Coco strap for Priest. And it's Priest is not done as good as Coe at this point last year, but I think a lot of it's just luck.
So, if you're Gene Haas, right, you're the guy putting the money on the table,
in
right?
the 41.
He wanted Cole Custer. He got Ryan Preece, and Ryan Preece has brought home wrecked race cars in the first 3 weeks. I'm not saying I don't blame Ryan Preece, but what do you think?
Yeah, well, the thing is, do you rather have a driver bringing home wrecked race cars because he's doing something with it, or a driver like Cole Custer who's just putting around the track and finishing 3-4 laps down?
You got
2 or 3 laps down, if that.
But if you've watched Drive to Survive, there's nothing that Gene Haas dislikes more than wrecked race cars.
Well, I mean, Gene Haas has got the money, so I don't think I'd be bitching too much.
Well, Haas F1 is.
I'm telling you right now, Haas and Stewart-Haas is probably gonna be fucked after this year anyway because if
they're
going to they're losing Harvick. Bush. I think they lose Bush. I think they lose the car. Is what I think.
Where does it go? 2311.
What, the sponsor or the car?
The charter.
The charter. Well, I mean, who are they looking at getting though?
They're always looking. They've said that Denny wants to expand though.
Yeah, but I don't think that's within the next year or two though. Like you'd have to be planning now to make that happen, I think, and be good for next year if you're jumping from 2 to 3 cars. So, I mean, sponsorship ain't looking good on the home front for Stewart-Haas. And to be honest, I don't think Tony Stewart gives a flying fuck because he's got his his hands in the cookie jar at the drag racing shit. So, I don't know. I'd like to see Harvick buy that team, go in with Stewart, because I think that would kind of help Stewart get back into it. But I got a feeling that there's a reason why Bush is going possibly to Ross Chastain next year at Trackhouse. I think that's where Harvick's going to be a mentor, maybe.
A Jimmy Johnson role, potentially.
Something. He's going to be over there, he's already friends with Justin Marks and has been before he owned the team. So, and that's where basically Keelan races for, along with a bunch of drivers, the young kids that Harvick represents that's coming up, through the go-karts and shit. So, I look for Harvick. I would not be surprised, which I don't think they need it. Harvick may buy into that team next year or in the future. I mean, they've already playing with house money anyway because they got Pitbull and shit. And Justin Marks,
Mr. Worldwide, baby.
So, I mean, they're not hurting for money. But maybe Harvick brings the experience of, pairing drivers up with the right people and shit. That's something that Harvick's really been good at when he used to run his own team. So, and maybe he brings back KHI into the lower series and works with the Cup Series team.
If he brings back KHI, can he bring back Cale Gale?
Cale Gale was a low, underrated driver back then.
He had that.
I don't think he even races cars anymore, but he makes a lot of the shocks. Well, he used to before they went to this new car. So
was he the one the vendor that they picked? I thought I saw something like that.
It may be, and if that's the case, then he's doing really good then.
Okay, we're on. Here's our Wikipedia segment.
I know you want to race driving for somebody. Was it Kyle Busch or
I think he
What's
won
the
like
last
Homestead.
pass?
Yeah, it was like at Homestead. I remember it was an awesome
Yeah,
finish.
against Kyle Busch.
One win. Shout out Cale Gale. 37 years old. What's he doing? He's an American professional stock car racing driver and a crew chief. His father, Bubba Gale. Fucking dope name. Let's see here. He was part of KHI's driver development program. Returned to KHI, and then that was with Eddie Sharp Racing, who I believe bought KHI or took.
KHI. They took they basically bought their stuff.
Yeah, I remember this finish. Absolutely electric. Cale Gale won that. He was Brandon Jones' crew chief in 2013. That's fun. He owns Velocity Racing suspensions and races super late models in the Southeast. So shout out Cale Gale. Anything more here? Nope. Let's check out the news section on him. Oh, he's in the Cars Tour.
Go figure.
Owned by Kevin Harvick. Funny how that works. Why does he look like a woman?
What the fuck is that? Is that like a bandana wrapped around his fucking neck?
I don't know. Is he
with the Hoosier?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that part of the uniform?
That can't be.
I think that's what they give to the winner during
that might be for
kind
pleasure.
of races.
Let's read about him. This is such a great. He feels like a kid in the candy store. Cale Gale, what? The goat. Can we discuss a random old Truck Series driver at the end of every show now?
Yes.
Okay.
Rick
Next
Crawford.
week we're talking Rick Crawford. That's a good one. Can
No,
we
it's
talk about
not. Have you read about him lately?
Was he Is he in trouble?
Yeah, I mean, he's a registered sex offender now. So.
Oh,
snap!
I remember that guy. I wish I didn't now, though. Let's see what he did. Well, actually, I'll look at it first, and then we'll see if. What did he do? When was it?
It's not been that
long. He tried
long.
to entice a minor in 2018.
Come in Florida.
Rick. Oh, it's Florida. Everybody does that there. He fits the bill in that stupid state. Man, he had a career. Too bad he's a fucking pervert. Anyway, that's the show. Ron Hornaday. Yeah, that's not even fucking close to his name, Spencer. I met Ron Hornaday, though. Nice guy. I have a photo with him. Awfully red.
Hey, that's the guy that basically gave Jimmy and Harvick a couch to sleep on. They were literally roommates for a while before they both got into the Cup. So that's pretty awesome. It's a pretty random fact, but
shout out Ron Hornaday. We'll take submissions for our random Truck Series Wikipedia page for next week. Could it be the Onion? I don't know. Could it be James Busher? I don't know. We'll see. James Busher, Xfinity champion, now real estate agent. Truck champion, I said. Whatever. All right. We're done. What a bad last couple minutes that was. I'm just going to end this shit. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Crush that shit, baby. Yeah, let's go. Turn up. Let's go. This song is so good, man.
We all should put a repeat when we go to bed tonight. Let's all sleep with that playing tonight. Yes, all at the same time.
Man. Wow.
I mean, it's either good.
Cycle.
It's a good lullaby or it's good softcore porn music.
Okay. Well, that's the show. Bye.